my writing process, I get the idea, and then I don't write, I think, uh, until I figure out how the book's going to end, because the ending is the most important part. And then I write a very extensive outline, and then I do some other stuff. One of the main plot subplots is based on one of a case I had when I was first starting out. Um, and the UFO thing, it was another thing that basically what happens with Karen is uh, she is a criminal defense lawyer who wins a case for a biker, and the way she wins it is by showing that the biker was set up by crooked police and crooked district attorneys. And that puts a target on her back. And in revenge, she's set up and framed when drugs are planted in her home. And so she's arrested. Um, a forensic specialist at the crime lab testifies that her prints are all over the uh, cocaine baggie with the cocaine. She's disbarred, sentenced to 10 years in prison, and actually spends a year in jail. And then the conspiracy falls apart when the forensic expert is arrested for stealing cocaine. And so when the book starts, it's 3 years before the main action, when she is uh, freed during a post-conviction hearing and vows to get revenge on the people that framed her. So I just thought it'd be an interesting setup for someone. Uh, I mean, one of the reasons I don't rob banks is because I used to go down the penitentiary a lot. I can't imagine more horrible situation than having to be in jail when you actually are totally innocent. And like I said, I had two cases in real life where that happened. It's awful. So I thought that would be a really good setup. Um, and so in false witness, there are a lot of things going on. I actually, just as an aside, my favorite type of book is a book where there are three or four stories going on that don't appear to have any connection with each other. And you say, well, what the hell's going on here? What does this have to do with this? Why did the writer put this in? And then at the end, they all tie up together. And so that's what I tried to do with False Witness. But in doing that, the main thread sort of is Karen trying to find out who set her up, because there's still an evil DA, but you don't know who it is. This was the most fun. There's a couple of books that I've had the most fun writing. Vanishing Acts. Amy is my daughter. We wrote a YA together. That was great because it's fun working with your kids. Well, right when I started writing False Witness, the U.S. Congress had hearings on whether or not the American government has alien spacecraft that have crashed, and the bodies of aliens and are hiding them. Usually Area 51's where everyone says we've got all the aliens. So I decided to use that in the book, and I have two really bright grandkids, uh, and Charles, but everyone calls him Lutz. That's his nickname. So Lutz was home because the Portland Public Schools had gone on strike. And I called him up and I said, he was 14 at the time. I said, look, you're sitting on your butt doing nothing. Um, I have a character in the book I'm writing, and he claims that he was abducted by aliens. And uh, I want to know what the explanation is if someone claims they were abducted in a UFO and they're not lying. They honestly believe this happened. They're not making it up. It didn't happen, but what's the explanation? So all the research in the book was done by my grandson, did a great job. He found these studies from Harvard and all sorts of stuff. So I give him full credit in the acknowledgments, but it was just so much fun working with my grandson. Uh, and of course, that's why you have kids, child labor, right? I got a free researcher, uh, but I told him he can use this when he applies for college in a couple of years on his resume. But I thought it'd be really cool, sort of a fun thing to do. And of course, again, it's something that appears to have nothing to do with anything else that's going on in the book, but actually does. At the end of the book, everything sort of ties together